Hey everybody, welcome back to another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is your favorite podcast, which talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear, and then discuss them over a glass of water and a big cake that I just ate on the way in.
Why were you eating cake?
I don't know, I forgot we're recording, even though I asked you like an hour ago.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing to take notes? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I forgot in like the span of an hour. And I'm your boy, Patrick I'm done. On my left right here, Kat Elsa, the author. She's back with a little red solo cup, probably filled with juice.
Coca-Cola.
And we're here to talk about a great night of television, I think, right? Would you call this a great night of television?
I don't know what else was on.
The show that we're talking about.
Well, yeah, I enjoyed this show. This used to be like one of my favorites when we were kids. So, I mean, I could totally sit down and probably binge watch this off IMDb TV or whatever it's on.
Yeah, you know what? Start from the top.
Mm-hmm.
See when Tony Maselli first strolls into town.
Yeah.
In his windowless van.
His windowless van. He shows up at Angela's and she's in her pink bathrobe.
Yeah, she just comes up with like what was she, like picking up the newspaper or something, and this windowless van rolls up. She's like, come on in.
She was taking a shower and like somebody starts ringing the doorbell.
Did she know he was coming? It's been a while since I've seen the first up.
No, I think Mona set this whole thing up. Because, you know, Mona's the boss.
I thought we were going to get like a lot of Mona in this week's episode, but apparently not. And
No.
By the way, if you haven't figured it out, we're doing Who's the Boss.
Today, we are diving into the world of Who's the Boss. We are diving into what I would say is probably kind of like a lost art form on TV shows now. You don't get these very often.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. We're doing a backdoor pilot.
Yes.
Of Charmed Lives, right? Is that the name of it?
Yes, Charmed Lives, which has an IMDb page of 3 episodes. But, like, nothing else.
If you go to the Wikipedia page, it says it may or may not exist. Nobody knows. Even Fran Drescher doesn't know.
That's what the Amazon page, the IMDb page said, too, is it may or may not exist. Nobody knows. How does this show have an IMDb page, but Preston Prep doesn't?
Right?
For crying out loud.
Ugh.
Like, we have proof that Preston Prep existed. We have seen it with our own 2 eyes.
Maybe we could ask, Fran Drescher's ex-husband, like the conspiracy theorist guy, the one who thought like COVID was a hoax and Dr. Fossey was like a deep state actor.
How have I missed this? Oh my god.
It's not the guy that created the nanny, the guy that she was like married to forever. It's like her like second husband that she was only married to for like 2 years.
Oh.
He's a I don't even know what he is. I was gonna say like maybe he's a English teacher or something, but I have no idea. It'll show up on Google. I just remember it was the big hullabaloo over the summer that Fran Drescher's ex-husband causing trouble in these internet streets.
Just wow.
We're already a sensitive bunch, right? And now we gotta add Fran Drescher's husband into the mix, or ex-husband.
If it was the guy she was with from 2014 to 2016, they weren't even married.
Oh, they weren't?
Was it Shiva?
I'm pretty sure it's that guy.
An Indian-American engineer, politician, entrepreneur, and promoter of conspiracy theories, pseudoscience, and unfounded medical claims. That is literally what his Wikipedia page says.
I didn't dare go on it. I dared not go down that rabbit hole. Because next thing you know, I'm reading about like the secret underground war at the Denver airport or something.
God.
At all the creepy murals that are on there.
Yeah, they're creepy.
Have you ever seen them?
Yeah, I've been to DIA.
Now, you know what? Next time you're in town, swing by the DIA, get some hot pics of the creepy. It's like apocalyptic themed. It has like a weird backstory.
It's weird, and then you get the horse, the stallion with the red eyes.
Maybe Satanism? Like, we don't know.
Who knows?
We'll have to get Jill Buck, the host of Red Wine.
It's obviously the cult from Jay's journal, like.
You know what? Maybe this is like the Jared Leto prophecy right here. Like, this is his rising. Maybe he lives under the DIA.
Maybe.
Because he was like missing for a while, wasn't he? And then it turned out he was in the desert.
Yeah, like he just like randomly ran off to the desert for like a few months, came back even wackier than he was before.
Yeah, he left in like January of 2020, then he came back in like July, and he was like, "What's up, everybody?" And no one's around.
We're in the middle of a pandemic.
He's like, "Oh, I thought we were." Thought I was on the set of the new Batman movie. You know, everyone's wearing Bane masks. That we're in a Zack Snyder reboot or redo? I don't know what the hell they call it. Who knows?
A recut. The Snyder cut, I believe it's called. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. The fiance has watched it since we got HBO Max. He's been like
8-hour glory.
Pretty much constantly on HBO Max. Like, if he's not watching, like, a DC movie, he's watching The Big Bang Theory.
Not an ad for HBO Max, but I love it. It's great. It's got all the hits. You can watch Friends. You can watch The Big Bang Theory. I think Young Sheldon's on there, maybe.
Yes, there's seasons of Young Sheldon. You can watch 27 Dresses.
But you know what you can't watch on there is Who's the Boss?
No, you gotta go to IMDb TV.
Via Amazon. It's so confusing. It's like a process.
Okay, so like IMDb TV is like its own thing, but you can access it via Amazon because it's free with ads.
And I only got one ad. I'm not going to lie. I was all right with that.
I only got like a couple. I'm like, I forgot I was watching something like on Amazon.
You know what? I needed a break. I needed to get up and like replenish my cranberry juice. So I was like, you know what? Perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity. All right. So we did season 2, episode 25 of Who's the Boss. The episode is called Charmed Lives. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's a backdoor pilot for a sitcom which may or may not exist. We don't know.
Okay, so I have a theory. I think the production company was sure that Donna Dixon and Fran Drescher were going to be like the hot sitcom duo, the new like Laverne and Shirley come fall. So they like started getting shit going even though the network hadn't picked them up yet.
Oh, they like built sets and maybe wrote some scripts. Hired a grip.
Yeah, like there's probably like some scripts that exist.
Yeah. Ooh, I would love to see those.
All that kind of thing. That's my theory. Is like the production company was like, yes, this is gonna be it. We've got blonde Donna Dixon, dark-haired Fran Drescher. They're sort of rivals, but they got this great like friendship thing going.
They're like the lady odd couple, so to say.
They live in an apartment where everything's nailed down.
Yeah, we'll get to it, which I have a lot of questions about, by the way. So this episode, it's a backdoor pilot for this sitcom, and we get Mona and Tony are in it for like the very opening, and then we spend some time with Angela. She travels across the country.
Yeah, Angela, it's very much like an Angela kind of episode anyways, like just what it's dealing with.
Yeah, she's the glue that is bringing this whole cast together.
Yes.
And we'll go through it beat by beat, but before we do, are you ready to go back to May 6, 1986 on a Tuesday night? You ready?
Okay.
I'm going to say...
Bring it on. We are 5 years old.
This is an interesting night of television.
Oh, no, we're like 4.
Maybe learning how to color in between the lines.
We're like 4 years old. We're probably like sitting on the floor playing with blocks while our parents watched Who's the Boss.
Yeah, those giant Duplo Lego blocks.
Yes!
I think I had those.
Oh, you know what I had? I had something else. They were like these they were like Legos, but they were only like... They were rectangular, sort of, but they had just 2 prongs, but they were kind of ovalish too on the sides.
I don't think I know what you're talking about, but I probably had them too. Who knows? They were probably cheaper than Lego.
Yeah, I don't know what... oh my god, I wish I knew what they were called.
All right, if anybody knows, send us a hot message, and I don't know, show us pics of you playing them on your living room floor while your parents are watching Who's the Boss. Which kicks off the night, by the way, on ABC, 8 o'clock. Who's the Boss?
Okay.
We'll get you in a minute. Any guesses what's on after? I feel like you can get this.
Growing Pains.
You got it. Where are we in Growing Pains? This is like first season, maybe?
It's definitely early on. Carol's probably still dorky.
We get like nerdy Carol.
Yeah.
Poor Tracy Gold.
We're getting nerdy Carol.
You got young Mike.
Ben is still the cute kid in the family.
Yeah, he's the one that has like a catchphrase, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The other girl's not even born yet. What's her name? Libby? I can't remember.
Chrissy.
I was close.
Nobody has thought about Leonardo DiCaprio being some kid Mike finds and helps.
He doesn't exist yet. I don't even think he's even made a splash onto the scene yet, right? He's probably, maybe he's doing
No, he is not yet hanging out with Soleil Moon Frye.
He's probably doing like a 1986 Christmas Sears Wish Book toy ad, maybe right now.
If that, yeah.
Holding up like a He-Man figure. Following Growing Pains. I'm aware of this. I'm aware of its work. I feel like you know this. North and South, Book 2, Part 3.
Oh my god. Yes. Okay.
It's a Civil War drama. That's about all I know. Leslie Ann Down's in it.
Okay.
Everyone's favorite.
North and South is 3 different miniseries produced in the 80s. The first 2 star Patrick Swayze.
Whoa, really?
Yes. James Reed, Leslie Ann Down, Kirstie Alley, Jeannie Francis, Jonathan Frakes, like Parker Stevenson.
Our boy David Carradine.
Yeah, like oh my, I have it on DVD.
But wait, you own this?
Yes, like when we were in middle school, high school, like right when I was getting into soap operas, Fox Family or whatever it was back then would air the first 2 books for a week or something. And I would just like get so into it.
I don't know. Like, this is like a Civil War drama, right?
It's a Civil War drama, takes place before, during, and after the Civil War. Like that whole kind of thing. Very Gone with the Wind-ish. But it starts a while before the Civil War. So it's not like right before, like they're at the picnic and then, oh, hey, we got to go run off and join the war effort, you know?
I'm already bored.
You get Patrick Swayze, who plays Ori, and then you get James Reed, who plays George, and they are 2 gentlemen who meet on the train to West Point, and they become best friends. George is from like a steel family in Pennsylvania. Ori is from a cotton plantation family in the South. But they become friends, and the families become friends and intertwined, and...
I'm going to throw this out there. I'm not like a big Civil War person. I don't know. There's more exciting wars. Like, I don't know, like turned Washington Spies, maybe? I don't know.
Dude, you know how much I love that show.
That's a good war drama. Good war-related drama.
Oh.
Fun. It's entertaining. We get to see, it's got, espionage involved, like old-timey espionage.
Well, yeah, because it's about Washington spies.
Oh.
And where else are you gonna see Benedict Arnold and...
Ben Franklin's in it? I don't even remember the cast.
Oh, you're killing me here. I can't...
When Charlie Brown did those, like, It's America, Charlie Brown, they should have just done an episode about Washington spies. That would have been great to see.
Just picture, like, Snoopy sneaking away from, like... Long Island to New York City with like confidential information.
Oh yeah, like it's like rolled up on parchment paper, like in a little knapsack, like a Brindle stick. He's
written in invisible ink.
Yeah, he's going through the countryside with
on hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, with Johnny Appleseed, maybe. I don't know. Was he around then?
No, Johnny Appleseed is later.
Friend of the show, Johnny Appleseed.
Oh my god.
Let's make some applesauce. All right, you ready for CBS?
Okay.
Ready for a hot night at CBS?
Yeah, well, what else is on? Because I know where I would want to be in 1986.
I don't think we were watching this, but it starred your boy, Fred Savage. Probably an early role for him. Do you know a pre-Wonder Years, about his pre-Wonder Years work?
I know he was like in that arcade movie, right?
The Wizard, but that was out like at the same time as the Wonder Years, I think. There was like concurrent. This was a little show called Morning Star / Evening Star. Do you know this?
No.
So the Morning Star orphanage is destroyed in a blaze, and Bob Lane needs emergency shelter for his children. They go to the Evening Star, which is a retirement facility. And so you get, like, kids and the elderly, like, living together.
Wow.
It's a drama, I think. I don't think it's a sitcom. Like, I think this was...
I mean, it sounds like a drama.
It's an hour long. Yeah, it's got to be a drama. I've never heard of it until an hour ago when I was working on my 14 notes.
Yeah.
I'll have to track it down, see what we can find. There's not that much information about it online. There's one season. I don't even know how many episodes. Maybe... 5. No, 7. I'm sorry. There's 7 that aired.
Oh, really? 7 whole episodes.
7 hot episodes in 1985 to 1986.
Joaquin Phoenix was on this.
Oh, really? Good for him.
Melissa Francis from Little House on the Prairie, who is now an anchor at Fox News.
Scatman Crothers is on it. He's probably like one of the Evening Star residents. All right, you ready for CBS 9 o'clock?
What's happening at 9?
All right, this is a detective series called Mike Hammer. It stars Stacy Ketch as a private eye who battles crime in New York City, and it was on 2 seasons, it looks like. It was based on a show from the 50s.
Okay.
So, I don't know, good times. All right, and then CBS 10 o'clock, a show that's actually has just been rebranded, starring Queen Latifah today. But back in the day, it was called, well, it's still called it, The Equalizer.
I was like, crap, what is it called? I remember the promos. I remember Queen Latifah looking like a badass, but I remember nothing else.
Yeah, and there's a series of movies that came out in like the 2010s, also called The Equalizer. I think there's like 3 of them. All right, and then we got a night of action at NBC. You ready for a hot night of action?
All right.
Any guesses?
Nope, none.
All right, we kick off with the A-Team.
Okay.
Everyone's favorite mercenary for hire group. You know, they're just running around in their cool van, killing bad guys, busting heads. whatever, doing what they do. And then following
Mhm.
the A-Team is Hunter, which is kind of more of like the same thing. It's I think it's like a man and a woman, and they I don't know. I guess they battle against like gangsters or something. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I think he's like a cop or something.
Yeah, of some sort. Yeah.
Hunter is one of those shows that maybe if you hit like Antenna TV or Me TV at the right time of night, you catch an episode.
Yeah, it's like on
Like once every
2 months,
9 months.
They probably it's on at like 12:30, so like MASH will be on at like 12, and then it's Hunter on after.
Something like that, yeah.
You probably fall asleep before the theme song ends. And Following Hunter is a show that I know the name, but I've never actually seen it or even seen anything about it. It's kind of like the same type of show. It's called Stingray.
What?
Stingray is an adventurer. He travels and helps people in trouble in exchange for future favors. And he has like a crew he goes around with, I think, and he's like investigating kidnappings, murders, and missing people cases. It was only on for 2 years. I don't think it caught on. It's not like
Okay.
It's not like Airwolf, which was like that crazy helicopter show that was on for a while, and Renegade. Yeah.
It sounds like they were just trying to fit like a theme for the night and toss that on.
Yeah, you know what? This is like for the boys.
Yeah.
The husbands came home from the factory. They ate their steak dinner. They drank a beer, and then they went into like the little tiny TV in the den and watched all these action series on NBC.
I tried recently to watch what is considered a very popular series from the 80s, and I couldn't make it through the pilot because I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever watched.
And was it a 2-hour pilot?
It was a 2-hour pilot.
They all are.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah. I tried to watch this a few years ago, too, and it was like the first like 30 minutes are good, and then it just gets really bad.
It just gets weird and stalkery, and I'm just like, no.
It is fun seeing Linda Hamilton, like, I don't know, like run around and like run downstairs and stuff and being chased by mobsters, I think. I don't know.
It like made no freaking sense.
All right, so like what I loved about so that version of Beauty and the Beast, he is like obviously like a monster of some kind. Then when like I don't know, like 5 years ago or probably 10 years ago now, when they came out with the CW version, it was just like a hot guy with a scar on his face.
Yeah, right? Like there was that movie Beastly, he just had like scars.
Nothing wild, nothing great.
Okay, guys, even Todd Manning had a scar on One Life to Live.
All right. And that's everything, because we don't have Fox, we don't have the CW or UPN or any of that stuff, so what do you think of the night?
ABC is a lit night.
Yeah. What would you give this night? Curious.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay, all right.
Because ABC is killing it. CBS, NBC, They probably could have like had something just a little bit better on either of them, but ABC like takes the cake. You get Who's the Boss, Growing Pains, and North and South. Like, dude, this night is amazing. I want to go back and relive this night.
I feel like the A-Team was pretty big for NBC, and I feel like...
Yeah, but then when you add it with like the other stuff, it kind of pulls it down.
But then like The Equalizer, I think, was a big thing for CBS too, so like, it's not like these are duds. I mean, there are some duds on here, but...
Like, okay, CBS has one decent show. NBC has one decent show, and then they got these two, like, what the hell?
I mean, Hunter was kind of a big show for a while, but I don't think it, like... I don't know how people thought about it then. I don't know. I don't know what critics were thinking about it.
Yeah.
But Ken Rausch or whatever. Entertainment Week, I don't even think it was around then. The Rausch review. All right. I'm going to give it a 3.
You gave it a 3?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, you do not have the appreciation for North and South that I do.
No. I'd probably watch Who's the Boss and Growing Pains, and then probably just fucking throw on a VHS of like the He-Man and She-Ra Secret of the Sword or whatever it was called, and then I don't know, gone to bed after that, and maybe went back down and play with my Lego Duplo blocks. So that's that night. Great night to be alive. Great night to be 4 years old, because we get to not experience it.
Dude,
because you don't remember it.
But yeah, like we were definitely probably like just playing with blocks or something while our parents watch TV.
I was in bed at fucking 8 o'clock. I was like fucking probably put to bed. Why do I think like I'm up at this time?
I'm pretty sure I was up because I remember like I get to watch like that first hour of TV and then I probably had to go to bed.
Even at 4 years old, you're up watching like Who's the Boss?
Yeah, they do. Like I was a night owl, so they like gave me that first hour
They encouraged it.
because it's like it was like either fight for an hour or just let me chill for an hour.
Yeah, maybe you really liked Carol from Growing Pains. Maybe you were like a Carol stan secretly.
I was probably a Mike stan.
Oh yeah, you're like, hey, I like Mike. I'm gonna follow him forever. All right. Yeah. So you ready? Are you ready to go to the land of Who's the Boss?
Yes, let's go to the land of Who's the Boss.
I will say I was very excited that we didn't get any Alyssa Milano and the other guy in this. I was just so excited we didn't get them.
Don't have to deal with it.
I don't know. Like, there's just drama behind that whole, like, between them two in real life, and I don't know. We'd have to go in and talk about it. And,
Yeah, I'm just sick of Alyssa Milano.
yeah, I'm over her. Over her.
As a whole, it's like, just stop, lady. Just.
We loved you on. Did we even like her on Melrose Place? I feel like we didn't.
No.
No, she's kind of boring, right?
No.
Didn't she date like Billy for a little while? I can't even remember her storylines, to be honest with you.
Wasn't she like Michael's sister or something? I don't even remember.
No, she was
She's just in that period of time where we were like, why are you here? Go away.
It was like her return to TV, so it was exciting at the time. Because I was like, oh, Alyssa Milano's back. And then, you know, her character sucked. And then she hopped onto Charmed. And I'm so confused by Charmed because there's this like huge like revisionist history of all these people talking about like Charmed as if it's the greatest show that's ever been on. And I'm like, it was awful. It was not even a good, even in its good like Shannon Doherty season, it was still a bad show.
The only time I ever watched Charmed really is like in reruns.
By accident on TNT or something, like you're at a car dealer, like getting your car fixed.
Like getting ready for work in the morning or something, like when I worked on the train. And, you know, the only good thing about that show is that they had Finola Hughes as the mother.
And she's barely in it.
Pop up once in a while. She's barely. And James Reed as their father.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
I told you, I love me some James Reed. Like, he pops up on Days of Our Lives, and I'm like, I don't care that your character is, like, this creepy killer. I love you.
We do get, Kaylee Cuoco in the final season, though.
We do. Like, that, like, you get the good Shannon Doherty season, and then you get, like, this huge chunk of time that sucks, and then you get the good Kaylee Cuoco season.
Yeah, you know what? I think I've seen every episode of the Shannon Doherty seasons. I think there's 2 seasons, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Like, they built the show around her. They pretty much, you know, like, hey, let's make her a witch, you know, because she's a bitch. Haha, it's funny. And then they throw in Holly Marie Combs I did like, but...
she irritates me. There's something about her. There's just, like, I've seen her enough, I'm just like, no.
I think this is the only thing I've ever seen her in. Maybe she's in Picket Fences, too, right?
Yeah, she's the one... Okay, for years I got her and Neve Campbell confused.
Whoa.
Like, when I was younger. Because they look very similar, and they were both playing, like, teenagers at the same time.
On quirky shows. Well, Party of Five's on a quirky show.
I had them confused for a little while.
Okay, all right, I see it. All right, you know, Sydney Prescott has yet emerged onto the scene, so she didn't impact your life yet. We had to deal with, like, shitty Julia Salinger for so long.
Hashtag Julia is the worst.
We had to go back and do another Party of Five just so we could, like, shit on Julia for an hour.
I mean, it's so easy. Like, when I did that rewatch, it was just like, you could have a chance where Bailey's pretty shitty. You could have a chance where Charlie's pretty shitty, but at the same time, Julia is still the worst.
Oh yeah, she's just like the...
Even when Claudia, like...
gets older.
Towards the end, has her, like, shitty moments, she's still nowhere near as bad as the rest.
They should have fucking put her up for adoption. It's just like... Charlie, you should have kicked her out of the house.
Oh my god.
All right, yeah, so we get no Alyssa Milano. She's in the opening credits, and I was like, even like, ugh, like I hope she's not in this episode. Hope it's like a...
Yeah, same.
Hope she gets like the F story at the very least. Like maybe she picks up the phone and, I don't know, she's like, oh, I'm going to the mall today. Bye. But nope, they don't even appear. Instead, it opens up, and Angela's like running out the door to go on a business trip to San Francisco.
Yeah. Mona's like yelling at the cab driver to hold his horses because Angela's trying to get all her crap ready to go to the airport. And Tony's all like, Angela, before you go, think about my cousin. Come on, you don't have to go do this. You got my cousin. Like this plump, curvy woman, Italian woman he thinks is perfect to be Princess Vianella or whatever it is.
All right, yeah, so we learned through like 40 seconds of exposition that Angela Bauer,
Advertising queen.
yeah, advertising queen, she's like the top of the heap. There's no one better than her. She's flying out to San Francisco for the big Viennelli pasta. I guess it's just like they just make noodles. I don't really know.
Like, okay, so we find out later they do canned and frozen foods.
Okay.
But I guess it's like Italian foods.
Not just pasta.
So you're going to have a lot of pastas and sauces, probably different sauces and tomatoes and
okay,
maybe some olives. I don't know. Maybe there's some prosciutto.
The last time we did Who's the Boss, didn't Angela go on a business meeting to San Francisco? Like, is this a theme?
I don't even remember what episode of Who's the Boss we did.
We did one where she was like pretending to have... Like, well, she had a company, but she wanted to make it seem like it was bigger than it was.
Oh, right, when she was starting her own agency.
And she had to go away on business, and Tony and Mona are like, I don't know, they're trying to keep up appearances, and this like big client comes, and they suck at it. All right, yeah, so it's what, we said it's what, 1986? That's the year?
Yeah.
All right, we have to talk about Angela's outfit to go flying.
I love it. I love it.
It was just like lavender... Sigourney Weaver from Working Girl style blouse, but she had like a matching lavender colored trench coat to go with it.
Yes, like everything matched. Everything was amazing.
And all I was thinking was, that's got to be uncomfortable for like an East Coast to West Coast flight. Like just wearing that the whole time.
I mean, it's the 80s. People still dressed up to go flying.
And that's like her like flying clothes. Like, you know, as soon as she got to the airport, she had to change into something else.
No, that's what she's wearing when she shows up at the
meeting. I thought
yeah.
I felt like she had a different outfit on. I don't know. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. I mean, you could be right, because that is like a wait, like having that outfit just be around for like 30 seconds is a total waste.
Yeah.
Before she goes, we have to just talk about, you already kind of like teased it. So Tony thinks that his portly cousin should be the face of Viennelli pasta. And they go on. There's a good like fat shame riff going on here that was very uncomfortable.
It was really uncomfortable. I was like, yikes. And of course, like, can I just say, this feels like the least Tony outfit possible that they have him in.
Yeah.
It's like some pink t-shirt and some blue button down, like wacky print over it, like navy blue. It was weird. Like, that threw me off. Like, rewatching it today, I was like, wait a minute.
I had a theory on that, though.
What is happening here? They just called Tony Danza in and were like, hey, we gotta film this scene real quick. Just come in what you're wearing.
Yeah, like Tony Danza, he only knew, like, he was gonna be just filming for like a half hour. So he was probably like, I don't know, doing his errands that day. He's like, all right, great, I get to do some shopping today. Catch up on some stuff. Maybe he went down to like the Ace Hardware, picked up some garden tools. He was going to go do some gardening. And then, I don't know, his agent was calling all over town to get a hold of him because they didn't have cell phones then. Calling all the places that he goes to.
Call his answering service. He's going to have to call in eventually.
Yeah, so then they're like, Tony, you're supposed to be here. We're supposed to film, like, Mona, you and Mona got to, bid Angela farewell. He's like, oh, I forgot. So he like hops in, doesn't have time for hair and makeup and outfit. They just film the scene real quick, and
yeah,
I don't know. Then he gets to go back and till his garden or something.
Yeah, I do love Mona's outfit, like the nice blue jeans and that pink sweater with the little the pearl beads.
Oh yeah, she was great.
That was hot.
Mona's always great. We keep saying we're gonna do a Mona episode, and we just can't seem to get it.
We don't.
No. So Angela she's off to San Francisco. We then cut over to, it's just like a business office of some, it's like multiple offices, I think, right?
Yeah, it's like one of those places where like there are multiple, like it's a suite, but there's like multiple businesses in there. Like one guy's a PR guy, another guy is probably like a tax accountant or something, you know?
Or is this the Viennelli office, or is this like a satellite office for Angela's company. This is where I had trouble like figuring it out.
No. This is the PR guy's office. And I don't know how Angela got connected with this guy, but one, you can tell she doesn't really like him. She thinks he's sketchy.
Yeah. You know what's these people on the coast? These coasters.
Ugh.
They just have this smarmy attitude.
Ugh, those West Coast people.
Yeah.
Like, he's so sketchy. He's so sketchy. Like, I can already picture, like, if Charmed Lives had gone to series, that he'd be, like, the sketchy guy that they have to put up with because he's, like, their PR guy in charge of their contract or whatever. And, like, but then maybe he and the blonde probably get together.
Lauren, played by Donna Dixon. All right, So I guess Angela somehow... she keeps talking about this great catch, this great talent she found. We know her name is Joyce Columbus.
She's picture perfect to be the princess for this ad campaign. Because the ad campaign up till now has been, who is Princess Vianella or whatever it is.
All over the world, people are wondering, they've been waiting. It's what is this comparable to? Like what? Trying to think of I feel like there's been mystery campaigns over there, like OK Soda maybe. Wasn't it like even like a couple years ago? They did like the baby nut for planners, and it was like, who is baby nut or something? I feel like there was something like that.
You mean when they killed Mr. Peanut off and then resurrected him?
Well, baby nut just grew up and just became a new Mr. Peanut. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Who cares? But
it's like one of those kind of ad campaigns where it's just like it catches your attention. You're kind of curious, so it builds more interest.
Yeah.
And then they're doing like a casting throughout the country looking for the right person. So it kind of builds interest in being this spokesperson for this product.
All right, so Angela finds Joyce Columbus. I have a question.
Yes.
Is she from, did she find her on the East Coast and then she, moved to the West Coast? I was just a little confused.
Yes, she finds her on the East Coast.
Okay, all right. So, and then they fly to San Francisco, but not together, though, I'm assuming.
No, I don't think so. Maybe they were on the same flight by coincidence. Angela was on American Airlines, Joyce was on United or something, or TWA or whatever existed back then.
Well, Angela was probably obviously business first class, and then
yes,
Joyce Columbus was the peasant in the back.
She's definitely in coach, but she's dressed for success.
Yes, and we'll kind of
she's got the nice tealy aqua-y colored dress on that's skin fitting, but it's not so skin tight you're leave something for the imagination.
She's got that headpiece.
And she's got the matching turban for her hair.
Where are we at in Fran Drescher's career? She's cameoed in movies and TV and stuff over the years. She's in Saturday Night Fever or something, right?
Yeah, that's her first role is Saturday Night Fever. We're after This Is Spinal Tap.
Okay.
She still has UHF to come out. She's got roles. She's working a good amount, but she hasn't had that role that rockets her to be Fran Drescher. You know what I mean? She gets cast and stuff, but a role that's going to be the role. I mean, we're still a decade away from the Nanny.
I mean, looking back at this, we know who she is now. So you can definitely see that she has star power, but I can just imagine people watching this in 1986 not really knowing who she is, or just not knowing who she is at all, and just seeing this powerful woman just emerge onto the set.
Oh, yes.
Making you laugh.
100%. That's why...
She steals the show.
Even though this failed as a pilot, we remembered this 30-something years later.
Oh, because it popped up in the... in the syndication runs over the years. You just remember this weird episode of Who's the Boss?
Oh, yeah.
Where Angela goes on heads to the coast, and it's why is she hanging out with this woman?
Yeah.
Fran Drescher, pre-nanny. All right, so the Vianelli, CEO or boss or president, he is just in love with the idea, and that smarmy PR guy is, totally trying to steal Angela's thunder, and, saying that he found her... He came up with the idea. He did this.
Yeah, that Angela's yeah, you found her in my office.
I love her looks. We get some Judith Light serving some looks in this episode. It's great.
This is actually a really good, Angela episode.
It really is.
You get to see Angela away from Tony and Mona. You kind of get to see her shine.
I mean, we occasionally get to see Angela work, but I feel like we really got to see her like work her magic in this episode. It's great. Like, it almost makes you want like the spinoff to be Judith Light and Fran Drescher. I could have lived with that. You know what?
Oh my god.
How about Sam and Angela move out? Mona stays in the house, but she still needs a handyman, and she's still the boss. It could have worked, right?
Now I kind of want a sitcom with Judith Light and Fran Drescher as two women in the neighborhood who have been rivals for years, but they're best friends.
Like kind of like a Grace and Frankie type show.
Sort of, yeah.
They've been on the outskirts, but they find a common interest like 30 years later.
Like their husbands are partners at the doctor's office or whatever.
One of them turns out to be a fraud or something.
Like...
and the whole empire gets shut down.
You know, just imagine how great that would be.
And Fran Drescher has to take Judith Light in, take her under her roof. Come on, Netflix or Peacock, anybody. I don't even care who. HBO Max.
Peacock, HBO Max, Netflix. God, there are so many streaming services today.
Paramount Plus. All right. So meanwhile, out in the lobby, this blonde woman comes in, played by Donna Dixon, who at this point she's done what? Bosom Buddies?
Oh my god, was she on Bosom Buddies?
Yeah, she was one of the. That's like all I know her from, to be honest with you.
Okay, because I looked at her like IMDb page and like didn't see that, so I was just like, she was in some movie with Dan Aykroyd and Fran Drescher. She was in Tommy Boy Wade's World.
Wasn't she married to Dan Aykroyd?
They're married. They're still married.
They're still wow. Good for them. All right, so Donna Dixon, she's more of a model than an actress, right?
I would say so. Like
she was like Miss World or something.
She's not a strong actress. Like she acted throughout, but there are definitely like dry spells.
Yeah, there is big ass gaps in time. Like she did the 2020 version of Twilight Zone. She did an episode of that. Not even in it. It just says a voice role.
Yeah.
So it's like pictures on her fucking cell phone, phoning it in. And then 2014, she was in something called The Sweet Blood of Jesus. And then 1995, an episode of The Nanny was the thing that she did before that. So, like...
Yeah,
I don't know. She's just living off that fucking crystal Dan Aykroyd vodka money.
Yeah, I mean, she just... There's not a lot to her roles that she's done.
I always thought she was... Like, I always felt like she had some kind of, like, primetime soap at one point in time, but I must have just be confusing her with somebody else. I don't know.
You have to, because like I'm looking at what she's done and
nothing pops out. No.
She did an episode of Moonlighting in 1987.
Yeah, that must have been a big night for her. Yeah, I think she's just mostly known for being like a model and a pageant title holder. That's her.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. She's all right. I could see why this show didn't get picked up because she's very plain. Like, she obviously is a beautiful woman, but like her acting is not that good. Like, I feel like she'd be better on like a primetime drama, not a comedy.
Yeah, she would probably work on a drama and not a drama where she is a lead. She would have to be like that supporting character who maybe makes a comment one here or there during an episode, but
I could even see if Charmed Lives did go to series and it was on for a while. I could see like 8 episodes in, they would have retooled it and she would have been out. Plucked somebody else into the role.
She would have gotten like her photo gig and been gone.
Yeah, just out. Replaced for somebody else, like, I don't know, Emma Samms or something.
Yeah, somebody fun. Sorry, Donna.
All right, yeah, so Donna Dixon comes in. She plays a character of Lauren, I don't know, something like that. And
Lauren.
She goes up to the secretary and she's like demanding to see Mr. Vianelli. Or not even Mr. Vianelli, like Ray, who's the PR guy.
Yeah, she wants to see Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey.
His name's Mickey. She wants to see Mickey. She's been trying to like get in to see him for like 3 weeks. You're telling me this is the only guy in all of San Francisco you can show your photos to?
I mean, this ain't LA, so maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. It's
not New York or LA.
It's like this is the only one who's willing to even let her make an appointment. That is what I think this is.
And, all right, so she even has, like, a sit-down with Joyce Columbus.
Yeah, because Joyce comes in. Joyce comes in after Angela. Angela gets right in, and Lauren is like, wait, I have an appointment. I have a 9 a.m. appointment. And the receptionist just takes a pencil and erases the a.m. She's like, not anymore.
Yeah, what a bitch.
You can sit and wait. Like,
like if that happened in the real world,
oh my God.
Like that'd be like an angry Yelp review right there. Like don't go to Angela Bauer's PR company.
Mickey Day or whatever his name is.
Yeah, fuck it.
He's so sketchy though. He's so sketchy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I think like he's definitely not the kind of person that Angela would have picked to work with. 100%. Don't think she picked him. I think he got in because he's like some executive at the Villanella's company. Is like cousin or something. Like we gotta give it to him for the PR stuff.
They got paired up.
We'll go with like Angela Bauer and her company, but we gotta go with this guy too.
I just feel like Angela is just used to this kind of stuff. You know what? This is like her world. She just has to deal with a lot of guys like this.
Yeah, probably.
I will say though that Angela does figure out how to navigate this world. She uses it to her advantage. She kind of has that like Joan from Mad Men quality to her, where she's like, I can do this. I can make it on my own. I'm like Mary Tyler Moore.
Mm-hmm. But think about it. Like when Angela was like 21, she was probably getting Joan coffee.
Oh yeah, she's nervous. She's like spilling the coffee on the way. You know what? She tried to go in like the elevator, but the elevator was like filled with men. They're like, sorry, Babs, you gotta take the stairs. And she's like walking up the stairs, and it's like spilling out everywhere. And by the time she gets upstairs, the coffee's cool, and it's spilled all over the 46 stairwells that she had to go up. And her Joan boss just like slaps it off the table and she's like, "Get me another one." Oh, that's not from Tony's on 5th. That's from Tony's on 8th. I could tell the difference. Yeah, she's like Susan Lucci in the movie Ebby.
Yes.
Poor Angela's first boss.
Oh my God. So yeah. So Angela's there and she's talking up Joyce and they bring Joyce in, but before that happens, Joyce kind of like told Lauren, you can't let this guy treat you like this. You gotta like demand to see him. And she thinks she's gonna like wait until like after they're done with Joyce, because that's currently what this guy is doing. So Joyce goes in and the guy's like, oh, she's perfect. She's got the right look. She's got the stuff. She's holding herself well the way I want my princess to. And then Lauren bangs on the door. Mickey opens it and she starts like demanding to see him, and she's like reading from a little script she wrote, and it's really awkward. And then the pasta executive is all like, that's her. That's the princess.
Oh, yeah.
Even though she's like blonde and Nordic and all that, she's not the look at all.
I think Angela and Mickey even try to explain it to Mr. Vianelli, like, hey, we got Joyce Columbus here. And Mr. Vianelli's like, how do we even know she's Italian now? Mickey's like, oh, there's a test that we can do. And Angela's like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, the test? Yeah, and so Angela's like, so tell Mr. Vianelli how this test works. And he's like, we just have them identify different noodles on a plate.
Oh, yeah, that was really awkward. Really awkward. I was like, because there was no 23andMe.
I know it was like supposed to go for laughs, but Angela is just serving up looks to that fucking guy, though. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
If you ever want to GIF reactions from Angela, this is the episode to do it.
I know. I'm gonna have to bust up the GIF maker this weekend. Make some Angela gifts. All right, so they kind of dismiss Joyce and Lauren back out to the lobby so they can like discuss it as grown-ups. Mm-hmm. So we kind of get this like moment between Joyce and Lauren, and it gets competitive now because now they're like debating between the two. And Joyce, she was kind of like pro Lauren. She was kind of like building her up Buttercup style. She
was all for Lauren like getting what Lauren wanted, but suddenly Lauren wants the job Joyce wanted, even though Lauren wanted to be a photographer until like 3 minutes ago when she found out that being a model would pay $30,000 for the campaign and she'd get a free apartment in San Francisco.
Yeah, so she's like, fuck it. I can do this. I can be on the other side of it, the camera, but you know what? I'm down. I'm down to clown.
I'm not going to turn down $30,000 in a free apartment.
Now they're kind of like at each other's throats, but not really, but in like a friendly, competitive way.
Yeah, kind of in a friendly way. They're not Blair and Serena. They're not like going to possibly murder each other.
Yeah, you don't got one of them like digging for like, I don't know, blackmail material or anything like that. Although, right. I feel like if this came out today, if Charmed Lives 2021 happened, that's episode 1 would be like Lauren finding out some got hot goss about Joyce and trying to resurface that info. And
Oh, no. It would be Joyce finding out something about Lauren.
oh, like, I don't know, she hit somebody, she was, like, involved in a hit and run or something.
Like, what really happened to end Lauren's marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Because, okay, the thing about Lauren is she's like, oh, I was married. She's, like, talking about all this stuff that happened to her as if it was bad. And it's just, like, she had a loving husband. She has, like, a great car. Like, Joyce is like, shut up. You have a very nice life.
Lauren doesn't have a place to live. Oh, neither does Joyce.
Well, Joyce just came in from New York.
Yeah, she just run around the city with luggage. Lauren, I guess, has been living in San Francisco for a while, and now
For a little, like, she's probably, like, living in, like, an extended stay motel or something.
Something affordable, but not too seedy, but on the fence.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I bet she's been running down her credit card, and that thing's about to be maxed out. It's like 3 days away from being maxed out.
Yeah, she's at the point where the soon-to-be ex-husband's not going to pay for it much longer.
Yeah, you know what? This is like the 80s, so it's not like you can go online and like look at the transactions as they happen.
Mm-hmm.
The statement's about to be mailed.
Yeah.
To the former homestead. He'll know where she is,
Mm-hmm.
and he won't pay it. So now she's gonna be back on the streets. Who knows where she'll end up? The dark, seedy alley somewhere. Maybe she'll be stripping. Maybe become a lady of the night. San Francisco will change you.
Yes, I guess so. So they decide to go with Lauren, and Mickey takes her to the apartment, and it's a very 80s apartment. It's that, like, peach and aqua kind of color.
It looked familiar. The set looked familiar, and I couldn't place where I've seen that set before.
I couldn't place it either. I mean, the color scheme is very much like Blanche's living room on The Golden Girls, though.
That is true. I mean, it could be Blanche's living room. Who knows? We don't know.
It looks nice, but as Lauren is looking around, she realizes, like, everything is, like, literally glued down, or, like, there's chains holding the pillows to the couch. Like, okay, for the table, it's like they did this. They, like, Mod Podged the top of the table, put the two, like, tablecloths over it, and then glue another layer of glue and glued the lamp to the table, because she picks up the lamp and it takes the table with it.
Well, I'm sure this PR guy, Mickey, has probably hired some hot models for some other assignments he's had, and they probably robbed that fucking place blind. They robbed that joint. They sold it for Coke money. These models and their Coke parties. These 80s Coke parties.
They took those throw pillows, and he's just like, gotta keep them.
Those Pier 1 import pillows, they add up. I can't keep buying these Pier 1 import pillows. We're already giving them $30,000.
I mean, Pier 1 did go out of business.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, literally, the pillow is chained. Like, it's not like a thin chain, it's like a thick chain.
Yeah, it's like the chain you'd, like, lock a bike with.
Even thicker than that. It's ridiculous.
What is it attached to, though? Like, I want to know where on the...
He comes in, he's like, oh, I forgot to give you your housewarming present. And he puts this, like, picture on the wall, and he, like, staple guns it in.
Yeah, it's like a, like one of those, like, store-bought home goods artwork, but it's not, like, in a frame. It's just, like, the insert part of it.
It's, like, the matting and the picture, like...
Yeah, and he staple guns it to the back of the door.
That's the best way. He staple guns it, like, and he doesn't, like, he staple guns it in the middle of the picture.
Yeah, not even on, like, the edges, so you can't
like,
really tell.
Not on the sides, like, literally in the middle of the picture.
And those doors are thin? He, like, ruined the door.
Oh, God, it was wild.
Then there's a knock at, like, as soon as he's gone, there's a knock at the door. And Lauren's like, well, who knows I'm here? So she thinks it's him again. She opens it up,
mm-hmm.
and it's Joyce Columbus, played by Fran Drescher, and she's like, nice dags. Lauren's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, well, since you stole my job, I think it's right for me to steal this apartment back from you, so I'm your new roommate. Lauren can't really stick up for herself. She just kind of lets it happen.
Yeah, she has no clue how to stick up for herself. It's just a hot mess.
There's a shopping cart with all of Joyce's luggage in it.
Joyce has a shopping cart filled with, like, her different luggage pieces, and you can see the tags from the airport.
Yes.
Still on all the pieces.
Oh, okay. So that's how we know she came from the East Coast.
Yeah.
To the West Coast. And, all right, so not only is this the apartment what they live in, this is also the same apartment where they're going to, like, shoot the ad in.
The ad, which makes...
no sense.
Come on, really? we couldn't like splurge for just like another little set.
No.
Like this, why is this not at Mickey's office? Like that would make more sense
Just a studio
than in the living room.
So we kind of get Joyce and Lauren like going back and forth at each other a little bit more. I guess she ends up spending the night. I don't really know. It's sometime later. Maybe the next day, maybe days later. I don't know. And everyone's there now. Like Mr. Vianelli's there. Lauren's like dressed up
in this ridiculous princess costume.
It's like a
there are like these two women who are the peasants. They got like the floral crown things going on and the like Lucy making wine kind of outfits on. They could be from the village where Frankenstein's monster was and Frankenstein versus Wolfman, you know.
Yeah, I was getting like not really Italian vibes. I was getting like Swiss Miss vibes from this.
Yes.
Because the princess outfit is pretty much like what the Swiss Miss wears on like the Swiss Miss hot chocolate package.
Joyce is not into this at all either. Joyce is kind of like frumpy and frowny the whole time. And I'm like, bitch, you're getting 30 grand to do this. Perk up.
You mean Lauren, not Joyce.
Yeah, Lauren, sorry.
Yeah, so like Joyce is there and she's trying to like busybody her way back into the role.
Mm-hmm.
She comes up with an idea. She presents it to Angela. She's like, hey, how about instead of the Vianelli princess, we do the Vianelli twins?
Well, first the girls start kind of bickering and Joyce drags her into the kitchen where they talk about everything. And they both come out with crowns after Angela goes in to talk to them. And Angela's, I present to you the Vianelli twins. You get one princess for frozen food and the other for canned goods.
And Mickey's like, that sounds awful. Then Mr. Vianelli's like, oh, I like it. And then Mickey's like, oh, yeah, it's all my idea. I came up with it. He's like trying to steal her thunder again.
Yeah.
They decide they don't need the peasants anymore. So they're like, all right, the peasants, you guys gotta go. We got the two girls now. They sit on the couch. They each hold up a pot of pasta or something. They take the shot.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone leaves, and we kind of get like a wrap up with Joyce and Lauren on the couch together. They're just like, well, you know what? This is just like one of our many adventures. Stay tuned every week to see many, many more of our fun and wild, wacky adventures where, like, I'm the fun Okoa one.
As we share this title and probably a boyfriend or two along the way.
Yeah, a Don Johnson as a love interest, maybe. Cheech Marin. I don't know, this is the part where we just name Nashbridge cast members.
I don't know who else was on Nashbridges.
I was going to say Chuck Norris, but that's Walker, Texas Ranger.
That's what my next name was going to be.
They created this whole like atmosphere that, you know, this is not going to be the last time we'll ever see the Vianelli twins.
Nope.
Have so many fun adventures with them, but guess what? We don't get anything else with them ever again. Maybe they filmed episodes, we don't know.
Nobody knows for sure what happened.
I will say, people probably watch this episode, they're like, oh my god, that Fran Drescher woman was great. Donna Dixon, not so much. I feel like she didn't commit to it 100%.
No, she just wasn't
exciting.
She just didn't feel right. She was just there.
I think they had like a look they were going for, maybe. Like, all right, that'll work.
Yeah, she fit the look, but enthusiasm and attitude-wise just wasn't it.
Yeah, maybe she just did like a swimsuit issue of like Sports Illustrated or something like that same year, so she was like all the rage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, who knows? But I guess it kind of gave us Fran Drescher.
Yeah.
Many years, like, you know, kind of kept her on the scene, kept her in the back of people's minds.
You know, kept her in the circles so that she would be friends with Twiggy. She did a TV show with Twiggy at one point.
Who the fuck is Twiggy?
Called
Twiggy?
Princesses.
Twiggy who?
Twiggy, the model from the 60s.
Oh, I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, Twiggy.
And that's where then when she was like visiting Twiggy in London, that's where she got the idea for the nanny. And she ran into the president of CBS at the time on the plane from London and pitched him the nanny. You
know what? Maybe the nanny never would have happened if Charmed Lives took off. Never came into fruition because the show would have been on forever. Charmed Lives would have been a big hit. Would have ran to at least like 94, I would think. We get the wrap up in 94. All right. On a scale of 1 out of 5, we'll go with hot lavender colored business lady power suits. How many hot lavender lady business power suits would you give this episode of Who's the Boss? Charmed Lives, a potential backdoor spinoff. Where do you rate it on the Fantastic? Can I take a guess?
Yeah, take a guess.
I'm gonna go with I feel like you're gonna give this a 3.5 for some reason. It just has a 3.5 vibe.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. It was good in theory. Like going into it, I was like all in. But as it kind of went on, like got to near the end, my interest started to wane, and I was like, are they still fucking dealing with this shit? They haven't solved this mystery yet. Like, why is this a thing?
I was here for Fran, but Donna just killed it for me. Like, if it had been somebody else in that role of Lauren, I think this could have worked and been a thing for more than like an episode of Who's the Boss, but yeah.
Yeah, was Suzanne Summers off Three's Company yet? It could have been her.
Cheryl Teague, somebody,
Fucking Shannon Tweed, I would have taken her. Why not?
Not the right people.
I think Angela kind of elevated the storyline too, and that the show kind of caught on. It's not like Judith Light's going to be available every week to be on it, so she's out.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get her like maybe in like November sweeps.
Yeah, she stops by the Who's the Boss set. You get Fran Drescher and Mona. That'd be a fun pairing, I would think.
Well, Fran Drescher played another character on Who's the Boss in season 1. An interior decorator who decorated Mona's place.
Yeah, her name is Carol, because that's how she shows up as on IMDb, because I was like, wait, that's not her name. Her name is Joyce Columbus. And Columbus is not even a real last name. She made it up, because she was pretending to be Italian. Yeah. Because she's like, really what? So I'm like, I'm not Italian. I know that.
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing. She's like, my mother dated an Italian.
So any other thoughts on Charmed Lives episode of Who's the Boss?
At least it didn't stop Who's the Boss from trying it with Backdoor Pilots. They tried at least 2 more times.
Yeah, they tried to do a Mona spinoff at one point.
Uh-huh. And then, of course, Living Dolls.
Living Dolls, which is the Leah Remini, Holly Berry spinoff. It actually made it to the air. It was on for what, a season or 2?
Yeah, like a season, I think. But it got like retooled halfway through or something.
And it basically about like Alyssa Milano's friends are models in like New York City or something. I think that was the premise, right?
Yeah, like Alyssa Milano's friend who becomes a model gets discovered by like one of Angela's friends.
Because Leah Remini's on Who's the Boss for maybe like, well, I'm going to say like a season, but it's probably like 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's like, I think she's around less than Sandy.
Yeah, they did the Sandy from Growing Pains thing. They made it seem like she's always been around. You know what? They probably like mentioned her name. Mm-hmm. Maybe like Danny was infatuated with her. Is his name Danny?
No, Jonathan.
Jonathan. Why did I don't know.
Because the actor's name is Danny.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm like have the name Danny in my head, and then I'm like, but Sam is Alyssa Milano. Who knows? Mm-hmm. You know what? They've been beach balled. All right. I'm excited about next week. I don't know if you have the list up.
I don't.
It's gonna be a doozy. What do you mean you don't have the list up?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Not gonna lie, I am too.
Okay, see?
All right. Next week, speaking of beach balls, we're gonna go. You know what? We're feeling a little remorseful,
nostalgic,
and nostalgic. We haven't quite figured out the adjective yet, but we're feeling something. So next week, we decided, you know what, we turned our boy Screech into a beach ball. The last time he did Saved by the Bell in the college years. We just recently lost Dustin Diamond to like a horrible form of cancer. He died like really quick. Like he was sick in like November, and then like January he was gone.
They revealed he was sick like a week before he died.
Yeah, like he was in the hospital.
Yeah, and then he got hospitalized. Like, I remember I sent you guys the link that said he had like maybe weeks to live, and then like 45 minutes later, it's like Dustin Diamond dead.
R.I.P. boy, R.I.P. So we're going to honor you next week. We're going to do the episode of Saved by the Bell where Screech is an alien. That's what my note says.
Yes.
What episode is that? I don't even think I even know the episode.
It's like a season 1 episode.
Like, is it a Miss Bliss one or like a Saved by the Bell proper?
No, it's not Miss Bliss. It's a NBC one. It's like, because Slater and Jesse and Kelly are there.
Oh, it's Close Encounters of the Nerd Kind.
Yes.
It's a season 2 episode.
Oh.
A tabloid is offered money for photos of real aliens, so they dress Screech up as an alien in order to fool the tabloid. That's the hot summary.
Oh boy.
So join us next week. We dip into Close Encounters of the Nerd Kind. Screech dressed up with like, I don't know, his googly eyes on his forehead, I think, right?
Yeah, like there's weird makeup and stuff. Some guy who says he's with the army or something falls for this and thinks Screech is really an alien.
Does Fox Mulder stop by? Dana Scully? We'll find out.
If only.
All right. Where can you follow our wild ass adventures? Kate, also the author. Where can you follow us?
You can follow us on Twitter at VeryPodcast. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, at A Very Special Podcast, Do Not Accept Invitations. You can find us anywhere podcasts are streamed. Subscribe, like, review, all that good stuff.
And as always, girl, as always,
bye!
Watch the skies for Angela flying back to New York City to give Tony Maselli a big fat kiss on the forehead, because she was just excited to see him after the crazy week that she had.